Hello, how are you? This is Els coming from Boom's Crafty Corner, and today we're going to be working on this little project. It's a little pad, right? How cute is this? But here's the thing, the paper, you can just take the paper right out. So you can refill this as much as you want, okay? So we are going to be working on this today. I'm going to get out a complete supply list. It is a punch board project, so if you have a box, We Are Memory Keeper, the 1, 2, 3 box, or you have the envelope punch, you're going to want this one. Anyone that does that kind of little divot on the side, okay? You could also probably use the tab cutter, okay? So if you've got any one of those boards, you're going to want to get that out. I'll be back with a list of supplies. Alright, supplies on this one. You are going to want some paper that you want to make this out of, some scrap tea dyed or copy paper, whatever it is you want to use, some scoring tools, bone folder, adhesive. Okay? So we're going to get started with the base of this. I'm going to get out a paper trimmer so we can get this part trimmed, and then we'll move forward from there. I'll be right back. Okay, so I have a scrap of the original paper that I was going to use, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece that is 7 1/4 inches long. Keep in mind, if you're using a pattern like this, you're going to want to make sure that the pattern is going in the direction that you want it to. Okay, and then I'm going to cut that down to 2 1/2 inches. So I want a piece that is 7 1/4 by 2 1/2. Okay, so that is going to be the first piece. Then we're going to want a piece that is at least 5 inches, 5 1/2 inches long, and only 1/2 inch wide. And this can be out of plain colored paper. If you have double-sided, it could be the other side, however you want to work this. And we're going to want one more piece, and that piece we're going to want to be 2 1/2 inches. If you want to wrap it around, 3 inches, and about 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch wide. Okay, so cut one more piece here at 1/2 inch. And I've got all of those. Now, this is 2 1/2 inches wide, so you're going to want to cut paper for your inside that is 2 inches wide. Let me get this down to normal size here. So you're going to want to cut some strips that are 2 inches wide, and you want them to be 2 3/4 inches, so no wider than 5 1/2. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to cut these at 2 inch strips. And I'm just going to cut a couple of these. You can have as many as you want. It's your pad. Okay. So 2 inches by 5 1/2 will get us where we want to be. Okay. We'll do 4. That's it for the cutting. Let's get rid of that. Sit, stay. Okay. So for the next part, we're going to get out our scoring tools. I'm going to get some stuff out of the way. I'll be right back. All right, so let's review. we have 4 or 5 pieces of 5.5 by 2 inch paper. We have 2 strips that are 1/2 inch by at least 5.5 inches long, and 1 piece that is 7 1/4 by 2.5. This is the piece we're going to score on. So we're going to get out our scoreboard. We're going to put this in with the face up. We're going to score at 1 1/4. And then at 4 1/4. Okay? That's it. Now, we have some valleys. We're going to turn those into hills. Now, if you want this to be a little less, because it does puff like a matchbook, if you want this to be a little less, then when you score this first one, do it at 1 1/8. That's the number. That's the line between 1 and 1 1/4. Okay, just so you know. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get out our punch board. Whether you're using a tab punch board or you're using the envelope punch board, you're just going to put this in so that the outside edge is about halfway through, and then you're going to do that on both sides. Okay, so you make that little pop at the top. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so now for the next part, we're going to take one of these strips and we're going to place it on here, and we're going to finger fold this around, because we don't want it super tight, but we don't want it really loose. Okay, and you can cut this excess off. There we go. And then you're going to glue that. And just hold it for a second till it dries. There we go. Now, that's going to move. So when you fold this down, this will slide up over it. Okay? So that's how you're going to close it. Now, to put in your paper, you can either glue this on either side, or if you want to do your paper just a little wider, like 2 1/4 inches, you could do the same thing in wrapping this around to the back and then just glue it in one spot back here. That works as well. But you want to bring this down about 1/4 inch from your fold line. And that is where you want this to sit. You want it to live about 1/4 inch. I'm going to turn this over so you guys can see a little better. I think that's easier to see. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue over here on the very edge. Just a tiny little bit. I'm going to put this down. There we go. And then on the other side, I'm going to put a tiny little bit of glue right on the edge. Put that one down. And then I'm just going to trim this off with my scissors. There we go. I'm going to give this a second to dry. Okay? So I will be right back and we'll move on to the next part. So while we're waiting for that to dry, we're going to take our pieces that are 5.5 and we're just going to fold these in half. And then I'm going to hit them with my bone folder a couple of times here because I really want them to lay flat. Okay? Once I have that, we're going to bring this back over. We're going to take the whole stack and we're going to put half of it underneath that band that we put there. And that creates our little pad in there. And then we're going to fold this over, bring this down, and move our band up. And you can decorate the little band if you want to. You can have it come all the way up to the top. It's entirely up to you at that point. But that's it. That's my little pad. It's my little pad. So when I want to use this, I just pull this little band down and pop it open, and there it is. Right? How cute! Okay, so that's it. That's all I have for you today. If you want to know what I've got going on, check out the community tab here. Check out the Facebook group. There's a link in the description box below. And both of those have a listing of everything that I have going on. And if you would do me a favor and hit the subscribe button, that would be awesome. Like this and share it with your friends. Until the next time, stay well, my friends. Bye-bye.